Hi everybody, welcome to the Becky and Boca Show. I am here at Lux Makeup and Beauty Lounge because Priscilla is going to do my eyebrows today. It's a typical rainy day here in South Florida, which happens in late summer. It'll clear up soon, so let's go. I am here with Priscilla at Lux Makeup and Beauty Lounge, and she is going to do permanent makeup on my eyebrows today. Yes, correct?
Exactly.
And the reason I'm doing this is, as you can see, Priscilla, my eyebrows are a mess. They're asymmetrical. One starts a little closer to the nose than the other one. I'm always having to fill in. The shape is bad, and I'm so excited that you're going to take care of it today so I can just wake up in the morning and be good.
Exactly. So that's exactly what we're going to do for Becky. We're going to start with doing a little bit of numbing cream, and we're going to create the mapping process so that way we know exactly where they should start, where they should arch, and where they should end, and make sure that they're both symmetrical. So permanent makeup will usually last 2 to 3 years depending on skin type. The maintenance is very low, which you just have to come in once a year for a touch-up, which will give you a little bit of color boost. But the brows will be there, and you'll have also that shape that you just kind of wake up and ready to go.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And do you want to talk about price, your pricing?
Yes,
because I think
course.
you're very reasonable.
Yes. So my microblading price is $450, and that includes your 5-week touch-up. That first touch-up is complimentary. If you need any touch-ups after that, it is an additional price. But yeah, $450.
That's very reasonable for something that's going to last me 2 to 3 years and make my morning routine so easy. I got to get in the brow game.
That's right.
Okay. All right, so you're going to put the numbing cream on me first, right? So this is the numbing cream, and how long does it take?
So this is going to stay for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So usually the microblading appointment, it will last you is about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Not that we're microblading for the whole time, but we are having the numbing cream sit for a little bit, and that's what's going to take a little bit longer of the time.
It's an attractive look, huh?
I have some paperwork for you to fill out. Okay. Yeah, I'll set the timer for 20 minutes.
All right.
The first page, and then on the second page here, you're going to do your name, initials, and then it's just sign on the bottom.
Okay. All right.
And then I have the aftercare. Do you want me to go over that before?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this is basically going to be your aftercare. All the information that you need to know is in here. In the back here, you're going to have your ointment that you're going to be applying 2 to 3 times a day for the next 5 days. I put a little spoolie here just in case you need to brush the hairs in that direction. After you put your cream, you can do that. Okay. Just very gently, don't rub it against the skin. And then this is a little guide of the different phases of healing and what to expect for the next 30 days, because it takes a full 30 days for your brows to fully heal. Okay. So if you have any questions or anything that feels unusual, just look in here and it'll kind of guide you through the whole process. Okay? So the main important things to know is for the first 5 days, you have to keep your brows absolutely dry. So don't get them wet. Okay. What I did for me when I got my brows done, I would jump in the shower and shower from the neck down, and then just wash my face at the sink with a washcloth to remove any makeup or anything. Okay. The ointment you're going to do 2 to 3 times a day for 5 days. Don't pick, scratch, or rub on the brows. It shouldn't have any scabbing. If you see any scabbing, you're just probably not putting enough ointment, so you can just put more ointment on top. Okay. No makeup or skincare on the brows for 2 weeks. You can do it around your face, just avoid the brows altogether. No sweating, sauna, or swimming, because microblading is very superficial and the pigment sits on the top layers of the skin. If you sweat, you're going to push that pigment out. So the idea is that we retain as much pigment as possible, so that way you have good retention towards the end of the healing. Okay. Avoid the sun for the next 5 to 10 days. If you do go in the sun, just wear a hat, try to keep it protected, and then before you leave, we'll schedule your touch-up 5 weeks later.
Okay, this is exciting.
Awesome, I'm excited for it. Now you use a black pencil to map it. So I do kind of like a square mapping. So I'm going to basically like draw a box around where we want the brows to be, and then I'll kind of work within that box.
You see how one eyebrow starts much further out than the other?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
It does. because we really have to be super precise.
Oh, I know this is important.
So, and usually when you come for the touch-up, it's a little bit shorter of an appointment because at that point we have a lot of like the mapping done.
I've tried everything doing my own brows. I had those little templates
Yes.
that you put over, and then I just try to wing it sometimes. So
I know, it's hard.
This is going to be so good for me. I looked at my brow palette this morning that I've been using. I'm like, I'm not going to need this anymore. Done with that step.
I haven't fully mapped the other side yet, but I want you to just kind of look at it for shape. So just to kind of fill it in. The idea is to conserve as much hair as you already have because I don't want you having the trouble to tweeze it as much. This brow sits a little bit higher than this one. So I am gonna have to tweeze a little bit of hair under here, but and maybe a tiny bit about at the top. But other than that, it'll kind of just balance everything out, you know? And just filling it in and giving you a better shape, I think, overall.
Okay, you're the expert.
Yeah, cool.
So you're just still like mapping?
Still mapping. I like to have everything mapped out before I even show the client, so that way. You have very little a lot of sparseness in this area here, so we're going to be filling that in a little bit on the arch area here. We're going to be filling that part in as well.
Okay.
But as far as shape, do you like the shape?
I do.
Any
you think
changes?
This is good? I'm just relying on you because
yeah,
I don't know that much about brows.
No, I think so because it's going to frame your face a little bit more while still using the hair that you already have and not taking like anything off that we don't need. You know what I mean?
Good. Because if you take it off, it might not come back.
No, we don't want to. We want to make sure to kind of keep as much hair as we possibly can.
Looks good.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and lay back for me.
And what exactly is microblading?
So microblading is semi-permanent that uses a blade. So it's a U-blade. It's called a U-blade. This is basically what the U-blade looks like. And it has 16 needles put together to create that blade. So we basically will dip this into the pigment and then draw the stroke, creating the hair-like stroke.
Okay, so the pigment then goes into the skin.
Into the skin.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Clean up some of the hairs that are outside. Measure one more time.
Starting the microblading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just gonna mix up your pigment. Oh, maybe we can talk about color too because that's something that freaks people out sometimes. When they see like super bold brows everywhere they go. So we're going to talk about color. So we have a variety of different colors to choose from, and then in here I kind of degrade them to kind of see what the color really truly looks like once it's healed. So I like to be more conservative. I prefer to go a little bit lighter on our first appointment because I can always go a little bit darker at the touch-up, but I can't reverse the process. So we're going to go with berry blonde with a drop of truffle dream just to kind of give it the warmth that we're looking for. Okay?
Sounds good.
And everything I use is sterile. It gets used once and thrown away. So I'm gonna do a first pass, and then after the first pass, I'm gonna numb you again, okay? Just put a little hairnet on you. Pick up your head for me. And then I'll lower the bed one more. Is that okay? If you do feel anything, you'll feel it at arches and tails just because these are bonier areas, okay? So right now I'll just kind of do like the skeleton strokes to kind of keep my frame, because once I wipe this off, everything that I mapped out will be gone. So that was basically our first pass on this, doing that skeleton stroke. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of pigment.
So far so good.
So far so good? Comfortable?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you don't know the procedures I've had.
Some of them, yeah, this is really nothing compared to like other stuff, you know what I mean?
This is nothing.
I think what's more annoying is like the noise, the scratching noise.
Same noise when you do Botox in the center of, like between the eyes.
Oh, really?
It's a crunching sound.
I didn't know that.
It's pretty loud too. It's
oh,
like
wow.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
Oh gosh, the things we do for beauty.
Especially in this town.
Use a little bit of the numbing cream. It might sting a little bit. The secondary numbing hits a little faster because the skin's already broken. So
yeah, forever.
So it takes 30 days for it to fully heal, for you to see the true color that we used. Whatever color we put on today, that's going to lighten about 40% once it's completely healed.
So
at
they're going to be darker
days,
in the beginning.
yeah. And the first 5 days, like you'll see the color today, the next 5 days they're going to look darker. That's totally normal. That once you're able to kind of get them wet and wash them normally, you won't have to, they'll lighten up a lot. So yeah. And then when you come in for your touch-up, we can look at the color and address and see if we need to go a little bit darker, a little bit lighter. And I'm just gonna add the pigment once again. And then we're gonna go in with a little bit of shading, okay? Still comfortable?
Yeah, amazing. I'm very relaxed.
I'm glad.
I might fall asleep.
So this is what we use for shading. It's a digital device machine. So what it does is it has one single needle, and that will implant the pigment, creating more of a shaded makeup effect. So in the areas where you don't have hair, because where you have hair is going to be more dense, we add a little bit of shading just to give it more dimension and give it depth.
Nice.
Yeah. They might feel a little sunburn for the next like 30 minutes after you have it done, but that'll go away.
Okay, no problem.
So the pigment is just soaking on the skin just to make sure that we get a good retention for about 5 minutes, and then I'll remove this, just clean up in areas that need to be cleaned up, and then you'll be good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't too bad, right?
No, I did not.
Any pain? Pain,
No
I think,
pain.
is the one thing that everybody
pain.
like is afraid of.
I think because they hear the term microblading.
Yeah.
And that sounds like, you're
It sounds
really
scary.
gashing into 'em with the blade.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
I think that's the only, you should find a different name for it.
I know, right? And I think after people come, they realize it's not so bad, but they get so, anxious about it and nervous for what's going on that they, sometimes are afraid.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. So today, before you leave, I'm going to put the ointment on. Maybe before bed, you can always do a thin layer of ointment before you go to bed. I like to do moist healing. By doing moist healing, it allows the skin to heal and give it time for the skin to close up. And with moist healing, you're going to avoid scabbing. Because if it scabs, what's going to happen is it's going to pull the pigment right off, and we don't want to do that.
You're kind of keeping it real
Moist,
wet.
yeah,
Okay.
moist, but however with the ointment that I
Right.
gave you. Yeah, you're going to be putting that for 2 to 3 times a day for the next 5 days. Just a thin layer with your ring finger. You just do one swipe right over the brows. Avoid any swimming, any sauna, any sweating, because if you do, you're going to push that pigment right
no
out.
Gym.
No gym.
Oh boy, it's gonna be tough.
I know, it's hard.
Okay,
It's hard.
no sweating.
Exactly.
Well, we're in
no
South Florida
sweating.
in August, and you just told me no
Exactly.
sweating.
I know.
So I gotta stay
inside.
inside it.
Nice air conditioning area. The idea is to retain as much pigment as we can.
Okay.
Once we do that, no makeup on the brows for the next 2 weeks. You could do it around your face. Just avoid the brows. Avoiding the sun 5 to 10 days, making sure that your skin is protected. If you do go in the sun, wear a hat.
Okay, you're gonna show?
Yeah, take a look at your brows.
Oh my gosh. What a difference.
Right?
Oh,
And
I'm
can you
excited.
imagine not having to fill it in?
No. This is gonna be wonderful.
You can see a little bit of red underneath. That's
I
just
was
from your
expecting
skin
more because I do
being
get
a
really
little bit
red.
red. Other than that, the color is gonna heal warm and
It looks like a
about
warm
40% lighter. It is gonna get dark the next few days. Don't
Okay.
panic. Don't wash it off.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's gonna lighten up.
All right. Thank you.
Oh my God, they look amazing.
I am excited.
I'm excited for
Very
you.
nice. Okay, everybody, I just got home from having my eyebrows done. I know they look very dark right now, but I am kind of amazed because there's no downtime, there was no pain. You could definitely go out like this because people are wearing their brows very dark like this now. It's gonna lighten up over time, but I have already been in the grocery store and it's fine. I might go out later tonight. So good news is no downtime, no pain. I'm very excited to see how they turn out in the end, and I will keep you posted. So thanks for joining me on this episode of the Becky and Boca Show. See you next week.